This video describes our investigation of how efficient people are in dividing their time between two tasks. Such time division happens in many situations. For example, office workers tend to switch every 2 to 3 minutes between tasks such as answering email and writing reports. What is not yet known is how efficient people are in dividing their time. Getting a better understanding of people's general efficiency matters, because working efficiently might influence various aspects of your work and life, including your salary and work satisfaction. Moreover, if research can help us to better understand the circumstances that lead to efficiency, then this can inform better training and management and the design of better supportive tools. So how can efficiency be investigated in dual task situations? One challenge in this regard is that performance on different tasks can be expressed in different ways. It is then not always clear how an increase in one reward compares to an increase in another reward. For example, if you try to keep a moving object accurately inside a target area, but also want to quickly type messages, how does the speed with which you complete a message weigh against the accuracy with which you can control the moving object? In a previous video, I explained the power of computer simulations in these situations. With computer simulations, we can predict how performance on two tasks is affected by the time that is spent on each of those tasks, and we can explore the outcomes from multiple strategies for time division. If we now evaluate the performance of each task using a reward function, then we can express this performance in money, and then we can see what the combined monetary value is of these strategies. This can then be compared to actual human performance to see if participants applied strategies that led to high rewards like this, or whether they applied suboptimal strategies that led to small rewards like this. We investigated this in a dynamic setting. Our participants had to type a set of numbers, but they also had to keep a moving cursor inside a target area using a joystick. The participants could only see one of the two tasks at a time, and they could only control the visible task. Therefore, they had to decide when to switch between the two tasks. Each task had performance expressed in points. The faster you typed in all the digits, the more points you gained. However, you would lose points if the cursor moved outside of the target area while you were typing. Every time when you had finished a set of digits, you would get a point score. Here you see me playing the game. I start with typing some digits. Then I switch to the tracking task, but I was late and the cursor had already been outside of the area. I move it in again, and then I go back to typing. In the end, I have a negative score because the cursor had been outside of the target area. So, the next round, I type fewer digits at a time. In our experiments, participants did this task for multiple rounds, and each time we observed their scores. We compared these to predictions from computer simulations to see if participants achieved the best possible scores. In general, we found that participants adapted to three aspects. First, they adapted to the rewards that each task gave. For example, if the value of typing increased, they spent more time typing. Second, participants also adapted to the difficulty of the tracking task. For example, if we reduced the size of the target area in which the cursor needed to be kept, participants switched more frequently between typing and tracking. Finally, the strategy that participants applied was also adapted to their own skill level. Participants that were faster typers typed more digits before they moved back to the tracking task. Participants often achieved high scores. This demonstrates that they adapted in an efficient way. However, participants did not always find the very best scores possible, which revealed limitations to their behavior. For example, we noticed that some participants relied too much on successful strategies from the past, even if the difficulty of the tracking task had changed. We also found that experience mattered. In cases where we gave participants more time to explore alternative ways for dividing their time, they also learned to pick better strategies. We are currently running studies to investigate in more detail what factors trigger suboptimality. In the meantime, what you can take from this research is that people change the way they divide their time between tasks based on the characteristics of the task, including the task difficulty, their skill level, and the rewards of the task. Although people adapt to these factors pretty good, they sometimes need more experience and training to be efficient. More details about this work can be found in these papers.